Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Warhammer from the Beginning.
From the beginning.
The Hobby, episode 5.
Episode 5.
So getting to the end of your Necron journey.
Yeah.
For now anyway, we may come back to them at some point in the future, but
For now.
what have you painted up this month that's new?
Well, Lyndon, this week I have been painting 10 units, wasn't it?
10 Necron
10 Necron Warriors.
Yeah, but they've... So
different weapon this time.
different weapon, yeah. I think these are the Gauze flares. These ones. And
Yeah,
the other ones were the Gauze...
Blast.
Blast? No, I think it's the Immortals that have the blasters. The God... You know what, we've got...
Give it a check,
Yeah. You know, we like to get everything as right as can be on this
Because they're longer.
They're longer, yeah, and they don't...
And bigger.
Yeah, so I think these are rapid fire, these ones. So these are the Gauze flares, yeah, and it was the Gauze Reapers that you
Gauze Reapers.
The Gauze Reapers, yeah, and it's the Immortals that have the blasters, yeah.
Okay.
So they've got some Gauze flares thrown in there now, which means you can now run, because you've got 3 different troop choices now, so now it means that you can combine in-game those Gauze Reapers
into other units.
into a big unit of 20, which is a real powerhouse unit.
Nice.
Just mow stuff down. So that's one thing.
And I did 3 scarabs.
3 more scarabs. So we got 9 of
They're
those
handy.
now.
They're
9,
good.
yeah,
I like
little
them.
scarabs scutting about.
And I painted a Overlord.
Oh, finally, the leader
The Overlord.
of the Kehratet. So, I believe you have a little
I have
story.
a little introduction as to the character. It might not be
I know nothing of this, so this is new to me as well.
100% accurate in points, but it's a bit of fun.
It's a bit of fun.
It's a bit of
That's
fun.
what the hobby is. And if it's accurate to you, it's accurate to us.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Okay. So, I was trying to think of either a voice or the Mefrit armies have been leaderless since awakening. With the Theron slain during slumber, the position of rule lay open, waiting to be grasped. Highly contested by ambitious nobles through by right and by reputation. Although many were leading contenders, none came close to gaining the upper hand over the other. Until now. Until now. Kehratet the Eruptor was a warlord with an overlord, I should say, sorry, with an explosive nature. Previous to the long sleep, he was never held in high regard amongst the other nobles, often ridiculed for his reckless tactics and rash decisions.
Oh, he's rash.
Oh, he's rash. Fueled by his uncontrollable temper. And even though success in battle was on his side, an erratic, wild behaviour would stall his advances to greatness, as many in the Mefrit legions lacked confidence that Kehratet the Eruptor could be trusted. However, the mechanics of fortune were about to grind in the opposite direction.
Oh,
nice little bit, eh?
That's a good little turn of phrase there.
Turn of phrase. The Eruptor, like many Necrons, began to awake from stasis to face the reality of the toll taken against their race. And the reflection of this reality would affect the Eruptor in many ways more than one. In the millions of years, devastations and outer world interventions had greatly reduced the Necrons of numbers, wealth, and technology. Madness, corruption, and instability had become rife.
The holy trinity of bad.
Yeah, it's as bad as it gets. Affecting the minds of many, on the road to reclaiming the worlds they once ruled. For the Eruptor, these new changes had its benefits. As others fell to madness, what is madness to one who is already mad? Especially to one who was used to it, and especially to one who has learned to harness the madness. Seeing the destruction to many a Necron stasis tomb would be a decisive change for the Eruptor. At a time, Necrons that lay before him were just numbers under his command, drones to obey, metal to melt, but now, for him, they that followed were essential. He felt betrayed and embarrassed at the position the Mefrit had found themselves in, angered further at all that was taken from them. Kehratet vowed to resurrect their power by force, and throughout their conquests he would lead by example with a destructive fist, leaving none who stands in his path operational. Through feats of sheer shock and astonishment, the warlord would rise to a status unlike the Necrons had seen before. From single-handedly taking on enemy units that outscaled his size enormously, to attacking his own units, no matter the size, no matter the importance, if he felt his commands were not being followed. His wrath was inescapable, and although he was greatly feared, Necrons would follow him to the very end. Excuse me. And from noble to scarab alike, as they knew that Kehratet the Eruptor would fight alongside them, and they knew that he was the one to lead them back to greatness, the one who would again reclaim the means to destroy the stars. With his destructive power known throughout the Method dynasty, he would reign supreme. He would no longer be known as Kehratet the Eruptor. He would be now known as Kehratet the Doomfather.
Oh, well done. That
Sorry?
is perfect. For me, that is what 40k is all about. Or this hobby is all about. It's just really throwing yourself into the fluff.
Yeah.
That was amazing. I love that.
Oh, good.
That was
perfect. It's good to kind of try and... Obviously, there's a lot of the folklore and stuff, and you've got to try and think about... Like, when I was speaking to you earlier about, so who's in charge of who? And the Silent King and blah, 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 but... At the end of the day, I just thought, try and write something that made sense to me.
That was perfect. And
you could write on more and more different stories and tales, but just as a nice little thing, it makes it interesting for the game.
Yeah, and that's what's fun when the game as well, because you'll come up with more stories as the game goes on. With me, with Vigo, I didn't know he was going to turn out to be a maniac on the battlefield. But that's just how the lore has spread about him. He's a bit of a hothead. He'll blow something up and then he'll blow himself up.
Keeps it fun.
It keeps it fun. But that was amazing, Dino. Very well read. Yes. That's got me all pumped for this game.
The Doomfather.
That we're going to be playing right now in a minute, but you won't get to see for another couple of weeks after this. But yes, that was perfect. But yeah, we'll call it there, I think, because I am. Yeah, we'll just stop.
Ready to get going.
Come on, Eruptor, or whatever what's his name now?
He was the Eruptor, he's the Doomfather now.
The Doomfather!
The Doomfather cometh.
He cometh. We will see him soon. And you too. Bye for now.